Hey everyone, and welcome to this, well, this is basically one of the last videos you're going to see in this house. This is the last Monday, so yeah, next Monday I'll be filming maybe, well, I guess you could say probably be filming from the new place. But anyway, with that said, let's do exactly what this video is about. And that is doing a overview of my new Polaroid IE X29 camera. That's right, my new Polaroid IE X29 camera. And yes, for those that like to watch and tell me that they know what time I do my videos and stuff, for those that do, yes, I did get a camera. But don't worry, we are getting things done, if you know what I mean. So for those that always say you should focus more on other things, guess what? We are. I just decided to get this because it's 59, and I'd rather be taking pictures with a semi-regular camera than always constantly hitting the photo button on my touchscreen of this camera, if you catch my drift. But anyway, with that said, let's talk about this new camera here. Now someone else on YouTube had done a review on it, so they kind of gave their impressions, and basically that individual said that it was a pretty decent camera. It's a good startup camera. It's a good, I guess you could say, temporal replacement camera. And once you get another camera to kind of have, that has a little bit more to it, like maybe 4K, maybe full screen, 1080p, you know, 16 by widescreen, if you know what I mean, then basically this could be used as a backup or a secondary camera. But like I said, basically what this is a good temporal replacement camera. It is a good startup camera for teenagers and kids. It is, like I said, it's and it can be a good secondary replacement camera or secondary camera to use if you want to get more than one shot with it, if you want to take more than one picture with one camera. And yeah, it's basically what it is. Now you're probably wondering, why did I get this? Why did I get this camera? Well, first of all, my job, as well as I'm sure this gets sold in other places as well, had a variety of cameras as well, but they were a little bit more expensive. Some, which were Polaroid, were a little bit cheaper, but they require regular batteries. In other words, they require AA or AAA batteries. And the best recommended batteries for cameras like these are indeed lithium batteries, because they last a long time, or for quite a while. Well, I had learned my lesson before, so I decided I was going to get it. If I'm going to get a camera, I'm going to get one that has a rechargeable lithium battery already there to install, so that all you have to do is plug it into the computer or the wall, and you can charge your camera up. And you know, for 59 bucks, you can't go really wrong with that. Now again, you're probably wondering, you're still wondering, okay, that's nice and all, but you have this camera. Yeah, but the thing is about the Canon, what's the brand name again here? About the Canon Vixa HFR500, or any of the, or even the ones that, you know, came after it, you know, the updated versions, none of them have a flash on them. None of them have a flash to where you can take a picture and the flash comes on. Sometimes you got to have something that steadies the picture just so you can take a decent picture. Now this does have a flash. The flash, I do believe, works even in camera mode, even in video mode. I can't really tell you right now, but I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure it does, but Because that's what the other one did. That's what my Kodak one did. It worked with the flash at night, so you could do some filming at night and be able to have people see your face or see what you're filming. So again, I'm pretty sure it does that. Yeah, it's got a light exposure, so it should be able to do that. There shouldn't be a problem with that. Now the real reason as well, like I said, is because I'm basically a little sick and tired of taking pictures with this, constantly also doing video. Now again, now don't get me wrong, this camera here that I'm using right now, this camera here, does take some decent pictures when you have it sort of on its anti-shake. In other words, where it doesn't shake or get blurry. Still does at times, don't get me wrong. But another reason as well is I want to primarily focus on this being the camera I use for my videos, family events, and this kind of being the camera that I take pictures with, as well as with my upcoming move and all that. And the fact that I have to be around here during, let's say, my lunch hours, it allows me to do videos even during my lunch hours. You see, one thing I used to do in the Lawrence, Kansas one, when I'd be on my lunch break, is I would have a little place right behind this big sign that would say Lawrence, this big old Lawrence sign, and you know, kind of in a semi-comfortable area, private area, I would do some videos. I would actually do videos in that location during my lunch hour. I'd even walk around the store or walk around the area after eating lunch, and I would do some videos there. Those used to be seen on my old YouTube channel before it got deleted. Now, like I said, that's basically what I did. Now you might say, well, Brian, you lived in Lawrence, Kansas. Weren't you in close vicinity? Yeah, I was in close vicinity, but here's the thing. I'm in closer vicinity right now to my job to where I could come home on my bike or even walk home, and I could basically have about 15 to 45 minutes before I'd have to go back, which isn't a problem. On the other hand, when I lived in Lawrence, you could say I was in close proximity, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. The way basically my job, my store there was basically was a little further on its parking lot. In other words, where I'm at right now, I could just easily go out the doors, out the front, ride my bike or walk in, and still make it in plenty of time. There, it would have added maybe an additional few minutes, if you catch my drift. But the point is, I still could have done it, I just chose not to. Also for the fact that I lived in an apartment complex, so add on top of the fact that I'd have to take the elevator up to the 3rd or 2nd floor, it really didn't make much sense. So I'd just rather stay around there, which I did. And I had a camera basically so I can do videos, you know, for my YouTube channel. Now, with that said, that is exactly why I also got this. Another reason as well is because my previous 2 cameras are basically not working really well. The first camera, which is right here, turns on, but it's LCD screen. This screen here, burnt out. Yeah, it works, but there's no picture. And I even put in the right kind of batteries, lithium, regular, and it would work and it would turn on. The only problem is the picture's burnt out. The other one that I have here does run on a rechargeable lithium battery. And it's a Kodak Easy Share Touch camera. I can't think of the brand name right now. Oh, it's an M53070. But yeah, this basically works too. It turns on and everything. It still works. The only problem is I can't change the filter on this. Here's the thing, I could touch it if it'll come up, if it lets me. Hold on. Put this right here. Yeah, it comes up. The menu comes up here. It's all touchscreen. But even when I touch the menu, which it will allow me to do, hopefully. Yeah, see, it won't let me go back to this. See, it'll move that way, but it won't let me change anything. And it just stays on the filter. It's a Kodak film effect. Now you might say that's not too bad, Brian. Yeah, it's not. It's just that I don't want to always keep filming, you know. I don't always want to constantly keep filming in that manner. And as you can see, it is to a rechargeable battery, which I could probably use in there if I have to, which I don't think that'll be the case. But this allowed me to film in by 5. It was a 5x10 widescreen. It was 5. Yeah, it was 5 zoom, I believe. That's what it says. Oh no, it was 15 megapixels is what this was. This is actually 15 megapixels. But the thing is, this is actually 15 megapixels, and it was a, trying to read there, it looks like a 5 by, because of that it was 5 by zoom, it was 5 zoom, if you will. In other words, I could take good picture, don't get me wrong. I could take good picture. Don't get me wrong about that, but the thing is, because the LCD screen is cracked, it made things a little bit more difficult. Now this is still good for like a backup if I want to take an additional 4 or 5 pictures, an additional 20 seconds I should say, of video, but that's about it. And that's because it doesn't have a memory card. This, however, actually works, like I said earlier, as a temporary replacement. In other words, yes, I do plan to get another one down the line that allows me to do maybe full, 16 by 9 1080p video on the go, so I don't always have to worry about that. But speaking of the 1080p, that's where you might be a little detracted by this. You might be turned off by this. Again, like that other reviewer said, and I'm saying, this is a good startup camera, this is a good temporary replacement camera, this is a good secondary camera to have whenever you decide to get another camera down the line that has those features you want, the 16 by 9 or the 16 by 9 widescreen 1080p or 4K format or video format that you like to film in and stuff like that. Now, this is not a touch screen. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not a touch screen. It's a regular button one. Even my mom's, it's supposed to have 3D and dual stereo and all that. That is not touch screen either, and that's by Panasonic. This is by Polaroid. Now, some of the features here are real simple. We have the menu screen, which we have the startup right there. Everything's set up. Now, when you go here, when you go to OK, it's going to bring up your menu. Now, right there, it gives you the option of what you want, scenery-wise, scene-wise. You can get automatic, which automatically sets it. You can get scenery. You can get portrait, night scenery, night portrait. You can get high sensitivity. You can get beach, and then that's about it. Then here, this gives you the image resolution. Here's your image resolution. You start out with the 18 megapixels, which is the 4880 by 3680, And then you get your choice as you keep scrolling down. And then you have the 7 megapixels, which is one of the required HD formats. And then you get down to 2, which is the 1920 by 1080. Then of course you get to your VGA, which is the standard 4 by 80 film format that you have. Now, you also have your choice by image quality being normal, fine, or super fine. You have a self timer which goes up to about 10 seconds. You have an anti-shake, which is basically, kind of prevents, any shakiness in the video as far as I know. We have a micro option which you can turn on and off, basically like you want to get real up close to something small. You have a white balance, which is audio, daylight, cloudy, fluorescent, incandescent, and that's about it. Then you have your color effect, which is standard, sepia, monochrome, and vivid. You have your multi-snapshots option, which is pretty good. You can turn that on and off if you want to take multiple shots. You have your image resolution, which is soft, normal, and sharp. You have your light exposure, which goes up to the highest, which is +3 lightest, and then -3 darkest. Then you have your ISO option, which goes up to 400. You have your metering, which is center, multi, or spot. You have your language, which goes all the way up to Russian. You have your date and time that you can either choose to keep on your picture or not. You have your silent mode. You have your auto power, which you can disable, which means after a few minutes it'll automatically turn off. You have a HZ frequency, which is up to between 50 and 60, depending on what you choose. Your format for your memory card, and then the firmware, which I believe you have to actually plug in with your USB cord to get an update on it. Now, of course, you have your options button-wise. Here's your zoom. Let me try to fix that here. Here's your, which one is the plus? Oh, here's the plus right here. Here's your plus zoom, which allows you to zoom in. And then there's your minus, which when you click it even more so on pictures and all that, lets you see all the pictures. But you have your, like I say, you have your zoom here and your minus zoom. You have your menu, or not, let's see, not your menu. Oh, you have your mode. This is your mode button right here. It's your mode button. This button here chooses from either taking pictures to taking video, which again you can zoom in everything, or looking at pictures or video. In other words, when you press back on the minus zoom, it brings you to all the pictures and videos you've taken, shows you what they are by number, and then it takes you to the next page if you have multi pictures. And then again, if you want to, let's go back to that. You want to go by, you just do like this. And you can even use the zoom option to zoom in on the pictures, so you can see maybe if you want to retake it or you don't want to retake it. So overall, it's not too bad. It's really not. It does take a micro SD card. So basically what I did is I took the micro SD card out of the Kodak one I just showed you and put it, basically I put that in my computer, deleted everything that was on there, and just started to use this one, put it in here to start using it. Now, of course, the big